Okay, I'm sick, so you're gonna have to excuse my voice for the duration of this video, but what I want to say today has been sitting very heavy on my heart. I know you think you're not enough, okay? I know you think that you're missing something. I know that you think that other people have something that you don't. I know that you've been dismissed a lot of your life. I know that you have been made to believe that your desires and passions, thoughts, feelings, opinions don't matter. And why I know that is because I don't know whether to use present or past tense here, but I have been in the same camp that you're in. I've been on a journey for the last several years to find my voice and start using my voice, come into the realization that I have purpose and power. And in doing that, thankfully, I have also come to the realization and the recognition, which was a lot easier for me to come to, is that everyone on this planet has purpose. You are here for a reason. That is so easy for me to believe. It is so easy for me to believe that there is something in you that other people on this planet need. And the gift that you have, whatever that might be, whether it's a nurturing quality about you, whether you're an excellent drawer, maybe you can sing, maybe you have a knack for connecting with people, maybe you're eloquent and can always find the right words to say, maybe you're super compassionate and offer empathy to people when they need it. There is a gift inside of you. There is a gift inside of you. It exists. It's there. You know it's there. It's come up time and time again throughout your life. That is there for a reason. Therefore, you are also here for a reason. And the reason that you feel like you're not enough, or that you've been dismissed your entire life, or that the things that matter to you don't matter to other people, is because you have not been surrounded by the right people. I saw this thing on TikTok the other day that was a woman sitting in a garden, and she was like, if I planted a seed in this garden and the flower didn't grow, my first thought wouldn't be, what a lazy flower. How awful of them, how unmotivated of them. They're self-sabotaging, they're terrible. No, it's a flower that needs a certain type of environment. It needs certain things in order to grow and change and become this beautiful thing that the seed inherently will become. There's no question about when you plant a certain type of seed, what is going to bloom. There's no question. It's inherently written. It's there in its DNA. There is something inherently beautiful inside of you. If you are not blooming, if you are not blossoming into what you feel like you are on the inside, you are in the wrong environment. You're in the wrong environment. You're not getting what you need to blossom, to grow, to change, to become the best version of yourself. There's so much to be said for the environments that we put ourselves into, and that we a lot of times will continue to sit in way longer than we should ever stay in certain environments, because we feel some type of obligation to them. We feel like we owe them something, when in reality all they're doing is sucking the life right out of us. I just want you to know that, like, there is something inherently beautiful in you. There is a gift inside of you. I hate this dog, I swear. I don't know what to do with this dog. Maybe I'll just sit here and hold this ball and continue to let him stare at me like this. But we stay in these environments because we feel some sense of obligation. We also a lot of times will feel like we've invested so much of ourselves and so much time into something that it's a waste to walk away. And that's also not true. Gosh, there's a lot of lessons layered into this. I don't mean for there to be. But you are worth something. If you've felt dismissed, if you have felt like you don't matter, please let this be the thing that teaches you and shows you that you are inherently worthy, and that there is something beautiful inside of you, and you are here for a purpose. I don't know if you know this. You might know this because at the beginning of most videos, I share who I am and what I do. But I write young adult stories and new adult stories. That means that the audience of my novels is teenagers and people who are just like entering into the adult space. And I've gotten asked a lot over the years why I write young adult, which was primarily what I wrote before I released my last book. And it's because I wanted to give teenagers a place they could feel heard and seen, because a lot of what I went through as a teenager was dismissed as just drama. And yes, to the adults in my life, what I was going through was just drama. I am a nearly 38-year-old woman, and I can tell you that there are things that I saw, witnessed, experienced as a teenager that are still with me today. To this day, things that were dismissed as just drama, I still carry around with me all the time. It mattered to me. It mattered to the person experiencing it. Were the things that I was experiencing giant dilemmas? Probably not. Were they important to the adults in my life? Clearly not. Did they appear as anything other than drama to the adults in my life? Absolutely not. But to the teenagers, that felt really real, right? Like what you go through as a teenager is very real. And I wanted to write the type of stories that allowed teenagers to feel heard and seen, but also offer a place for the parents of those teenagers, the adults in those teenagers' lives, to go back and kind of transport back into the scenes that we've all experienced in the past, right? Of all of the drama, to be teleported right back into that moment and remember how real it feels in that moment. And the reason that I was able to do that, the reason I'm able to write those kinds of stories is because when I was 16, I was realizing that I was experiencing a lot of things that were getting dismissed. And so I started journaling and committed to myself that I was never going to forget what that felt like. And so now I use those journals, right, to write the kinds of stories that allow someone to teleport right back in there. And what I'm finding, though, in having done this over the last several years now, is the same patterns kind of follow us throughout our lives. And a lot of what I was dealing with when I was a teenager was feeling unheard and feeling dismissed and like I didn't matter and like what I thought didn't matter. And I've experienced that quite a bit now in my adult life as well, in different circumstances, but it has come up a few times. And it just kind of got me thinking about the fact that like I feel like we're always on this journey to remind ourselves that like we're allowed to take up space, we're allowed to feel worthy. You are here on purpose. Like you are here on purpose. There's a reason you're here. There are people that need you. You have something to offer this world. And I don't ever want you to feel like you don't. If you are feeling that way right now, I would like to encourage you to take a look at your environment and see how and what ways you can change it. Because you have to look at yourself like a seed that's planted and inherently will bloom. Like it is written in the DNA, you will bloom. You just have to figure out which environment is going to be conducive for that. Another thing that I learned years ago and is very prominent in my life at the moment is a lot of times when you feel like you've been buried, when life feels like it's burying you, maybe you're just being planted. There's a reason you're here. And if anyone is making you feel less than or like you're unimportant or you're undervalued, make a change. Go somewhere else. Find somewhere that will value you. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is a quote that was shared with me just before I left a job that I loved. This was the job I had just before. It's actually the job I left for the dream job that ended up laying me off. I had been with this company for a while, an institution for a while, and I loved it there, and I had a really hard time making the decision to leave because I felt some sense of obligation to them. I loved it, it did not love me. And I was beginning to feel super undervalued and unimportant. And I saw something on social media, it had been shared with me. Think about the value of a water bottle and how much it costs depending on the environment that you're in. The contents of the bottle never change. It's the same water. It is the same water from the same company. You go to a dollar store, there's a bottle of water, it costs $1. You go to the grocery store, that same bottle of water now costs $2.50. You go to the gas station and that $1 bottle of water now costs $3.12. You go to the airport, that same bottle of water, the contents have not changed. They have not changed. That same bottle of water is now over $5. That bottle that was $1 at the dollar store is now $5 at the airport. The contents of the bottle did not change. The only thing that changed is the environment it is in. If you are starting to feel undervalued and unimportant, you don't have to look inside and think about what needs to change in you. Think about what needs to change in your environment. With that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Probably go get in bed, rest my voice, take some medicine, try to get better. And I just want to leave you with that encouragement this week. And Again, if you've been hanging out here for a while, I appreciate you. Obviously, I would appreciate it if you would stick around, hang out, subscribe, comment, like, do all the YouTube-y things, especially in the wake of TikTok potentially getting banned. I have quite an audience over there. I have yet to tell them about this space over here. I don't know why, it feels a little weird, but I appreciate you being here. And I will see you guys again very, very soon.